Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back to another epic online battle for Total War Warhammer. We are back once again with a custom map scenario battle. Today we have a 4v4 on the grand map of Nuln, the Grand Bastion of the South, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. The mod of Frodo has once again outdone himself. This map is awesome, and this is the reduced version because we found that the map itself on the bigger version was just way too large and it just made the game really laggy. So hopefully this reduced version will make it a little bit smoother. And this battle was also sent in by my Discord. They got together and had an epic 4v4 battle using mods and all that lovely stuff. So if you guys want to be a part of these battles in the future, or just want to find more people to play these custom map battles with, then make sure to join my Discord. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description down below where you guys can just find it. And yeah, go ahead, come over and join some of these battles because it's so awesome getting these replays sent in by you guys. As it is, it's just really cool to see the stuff you guys come up with. So as well as this being a custom map battle, we are also using a mod which adds in separate states of the Empire into the game. So I believe we have Stirland, Weisenland, we also have the Empire themselves, and we also have Weisenland as well. I think that's all the factions, and obviously yeah, the Empire. So we have 3 different, I guess, newer factions in the game, making up kind of just a better feel to the map itself. We actually have all these kind of custom empires coming over to stand today and fight alongside their empire brothers. You know, just instead of just having 4 empire factions, I like, you know, the different looks of this. We have obviously Averland here, and it's just really cool to see all these custom factions kind of come into the game and just spice things up. So let's run through the map really quickly, then we'll jump in the army comps, and then we'll start the battle itself. If you want to skip straight to the battle itself, then I'll make sure to leave a skip to battle button in the description. Just open it up, find the timestamp, and click it, and it will take you straight to the beginning of the battle. So we'll start off by looking at the outer wall of Nuln. We can see a really cool looking moat which kind of just goes around the entirety of the city, or the outer wall, and this is really cool. I'm pretty sure it slows down anyone coming across it. So this is kind of, you know, instead of just having an impassable moat, the modder has decided just to kind of create this smaller moat around the city, which does make it slower for people to kind of move across it, but does still allow them to move across it. So I think for gameplay that's really awesome. If we move into the city itself, we have 2 capture points as we just go through this really populated town. I think Frodo's done a great job at just making this feel like an actual proper town. I also really enjoy the way he's added in like a little hamlet out here by the port. Again, it just brings life to the city, and I really do like that. We also have this really cool gate right here. There's another one on the other side of the city, which we can go check out. But yeah, I love the way that he has gone ahead and created all these just like huge, really dense bits of I guess, village area. We also have a capture point back here as we go through, I guess this is like the observatory or something along them lines, looking great, like the magic places of Nuln. And we have this market which is a capture point with Sigmar right there. Then as we go back, we have another wall going around the city. However, this wall isn't mountable. You can't get on this wall. It just kind of acts as some nice choke points to help defend, and I guess this goes into the upper layer of the fortress itself, and you know, there's a few pretty decent defenses. I also really like the way how he's created these kind of barracks type feel places. You know, this feels like a very much a military structure, as it has kind of a smaller outer wall going around it with some like keep buildings, and I guess you can kind of imagine these being barracks, and it's actually kind of attached to the wall itself on the inner wall. But as we make our way back in, we have this kind of really nice final fortress. I like how he's done, again, creating a pretty nice set of walls. We make our way up to the final layer, and this is obviously the final keep right here. But another really cool thing about this map is you have kind of the outer wall of Nuln running the entire way around this province. You can actually stick soldiers up here, and obviously they can activate all these towers. And obviously the enemies as well can start climbing up these walls really early on, and actually get beyond kind of the secondary wall really early on by just kind of attacking this position. So I really do like that. That's really cool. So cool. Oh yeah, the last thing I want to show off is just this final kind of like gate over here for the port itself. I think that's a really nice kind of addition to the actual thing. And obviously we have all these ships as well, which they've actually kind of handmade. I think we've got some other ships down here as well. So really nice, just kind of aesthetic feels to the map, and it makes it feel like it's actually a proper map itself. Let's start off by looking at the Orc Armies. I'll make sure to stick these up on your screen. The main armies are going to be made up by a large portion of these Savage Orcs. Obviously, they're going to have a ton of Black Orcs supporting them. We also have this set of 3 Giants and Trolls. I think this is just the smash down the gate patrol right here, and these guys are going to head straight across that bridge and just hit down the gate and pour into the city. So it's going to be up to these gunners from Averland just to really start putting down the hurt and taking out a lot of HP damage. As we continue to go down the line, we have some more Black Orcs leading in this army, more Trolls alongside them, and obviously there's lots of siege towers to be pushing up. But luckily these towers are going to really help them out. We have a lot of Rock Lobbers and Doom Divers, which are going to be causing quite a nice amount of damage as we go further along the lines. We have more of the Night Goblins kind of aiding the Orcs in this battle, which are going to obviously bring up a bunch of versatility for their forces, along with some more Squigs as well. It's always awesome when you get to see Squigs fighting. We have some nasty Skulkers and more Night Goblins. We continue to make our way around. We actually have another faction, or another two faction. No, this is just one more faction over here, which are going to be attacking the other side of the city, which should hopefully spice things up. We have some Night Goblins, more Rock Lobbers, and some more Orc Boys as well, with Black Orcs in the back. So a pretty sturdy army. We obviously have a Arachnox Spider. And again, this little mountain pass right here looks so goddamn cool. Just kind of splitting up the map, but almost like keeping it together. Let's go ahead and look at the forces of the Empire now as well. We have lots of soldiers from Weisenland out here, and again, I like kind of the different colors as well. These do look very Empire-like, but still look awesome nonetheless. We have a lot of crossbowmen, a lot of standard infantry and spearmen. We've got some flagellants along with Volksmar the Grim, and some more artillery. The Sunmakers, who are, I think, the highest DPS unit in the game, or kills per minute unit in the game. Lots of halberdiers just kind of spreading out the city. So we have Weisenland and the Empire guarding that right-hand side. We have, again, more Weisenland troops up here with some Stirland with their great cannons and halberdiers. So they're kind of really spread out their assault right here. Defending the walls, we have Averland and Stirland, who are going to be defending this side of the wall, and I think Weisenland and the Empire are going to be defending the other side of the wall. So cool, that is the intro. I think we're ready to get this battle started. I guess we'll just start off by looking down this siege line right now. It's pretty horrific, and yeah, let's just go ahead, click play, and watch these guys go forward. So obviously do keep in mind we have a lot of troops in this battle. We have 9,000 soldiers fighting right now. It's going to be a little bit laggy with all the assets and everything in the beginning, but hopefully you guys can still enjoy it. I don't think it's too bad right now as the cannons just open up. Obviously we have all of these towers now shooting in the battle, which are going to be great news, and the gunners as well, who are going to be hitting down. Why is this gate just opened? I think we should close the gate quickly. Thank God the gate closes in time, as the Orcs just come flying forward. More gunners coming up, actually almost completely annihilating an entire troll unit. We've got a flame spell going down. That didn't really do too much. Luckily the gate did close again, because that's going to be deadly. If these guys can smash down this gate without too much resistance, then they're going to be pouring straight onto the Empire defense right now. We have a flaming skull continuing just to go along, and the entire walls are about to be harassed. Yeah, the gate smashing squad are here now, and they are going to be hitting down this gate so quickly. The gunners are working overtime right now, though, trying to kill as many of these soldiers. But I mean, as soon as these guys get on the wall, the crossbows aren't going to be doing much, and they're going to get cut to pieces by the large portion of savage orcs. Again, I really like how the moat's working along this battle line. We can see that, you know, it's definitely slowed up the initial assault, but not for much longer. These guys are going to be over here attacking very, very soon. And for this initial part, let's go in slow-mo, because there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of places being under attack, so we want to make sure that we catch all the action. We have the giants smashing down the wall, the gatehouses. I think this gatehouse is down to 41%. I'm sure the other gatehouse on the other side is much, much weaker. Luckily, we have some spearmen over here ready to defend the gate. No matter what comes through that gate, they will hold their line for Cold Franz. We go on the other side, we can see that the siege towers are finally reaching the wall. The gate has been smashed down, and the enemy are pouring across the line with their trolls. We have the flagellants and the spearmen here trying to push them back. And I mean, I think I'd rather have some halberds here or something along those lines, because there's just so many monsters on this side. We have some mortars as well. But I honestly don't think they're going to be doing enough damage, because the walls are going to be lost very, very soon. As soon as these savage orcs come pouring off these siege towers, it's over for this part of the wall. They're still obviously getting a few crossbow bolts off, but nothing too crazy. We have a nice little flame explosion right there by this bright wizard. Again, it's not going to be doing a ton of damage, but it's still going to be taking down a few of these guys, which is kind of nice. We can see the explosion racking up quite a few kills. I think it's cool to go back onto normal speed right now as the battle continues. The battle is going to be being fought horrifically on these walls, because the Empire don't have a lot of soldiers here. They mainly just have archers along with a few units of swordsmen. So it's going to be up to the swordsmen of like Weisenland here, or no, this is Averland here, to really push back the enemy as best as they can. You can see the enemy are really pushing over with their siege towers, just trying to take over these walls, because that's a really important thing for the Orcs. They need to try and take out these walls as quickly as they can, because these towers will be slaughtering their men on the ground. So the quicker they manage to get these guys off the wall, the better it is for them. I mean, they still have some more swordsmen over here. They could really help commit elsewhere. And I think this kind of, yeah, this assault on the secondary wall. Oh, they've actually managed to smash down the wall. That is really bad for the Empire troops, because they're going to be able to pour in with all these squigs onto the flagellants. And you can see the charge bonuses they're getting. They are making these flagellants go flying. These guys need to like quickly push into here, because if this Ragnarok gets in uncontested, that is going to be so bad. They need to commit so many units here to try and stop these guys. They've got gunners set up, thankfully, but this city is getting overwhelmed right now by the Orcs. Luckily, they do have guns here, and these guns are going to be doing great. But if this Ragnarok Queen just heads straight for them, which I think it might be doing, yeah, that's exactly what it's doing, along with Skarsnik as well. This is scary for the Empire already. They're being attacked on so many flanks. Oh, yeah, they're still coming. And I think Cole Franz has pushed in to try and slow these guys up. Another pretty nice volley off on them, but they're not really doing enough damage. And with the Spiderlings being risen up, this is going to be so bad for the gunners. They really need to stay alive as best they can. Cole Franz is helping the soldiers out, and I mean, it's lucky that they do have some halberds here. The halberds are going to be doing great against this Ragnarok Queen compared to, say, swordsmen or anything else. They are just pouring in so many of these night goblins through this breach. Oh, what are we going to get? We're going to get a Comet of Castador coming down? Or is this just another flame spell? Because I believe this is a pretty big spell from the Empire. Oh, we get a nice vortex spell. That's just going to be hitting everyone coming through this gap right now, which is great. We again make our way over here. We can see a lot of night goblins just climbing up the ladders, and it's just an assault on every single front right now. Luckily, they do have a forest dragon, I believe, right here, which is one of the custom units for Bisonland, which is great. But everywhere it's just being assaulted right now, and they might just have to fall back and give up this outer wall, because they're going to lose it for sure. The fighting on the walls is a lot more fierce. Oh, the lag is intensifying right now, but hopefully you guys still enjoy these massive battles. Just kind of the scale of them, I think, is worth putting up with a bit of this lag. The fighting over here is really, really fierce for the walls, whereas everywhere else they've kind of been getting overwhelmed. But these Empire soldiers are not going to be giving up Nuln without a fight. Down here we have the Ragnarok making its way in, along with Volksmar, trying to kind of cast as many battle prayers as he can. The Sunmakers are still shooting off their rockets, hitting the units behind the wall themselves as Volksmar comes flying in against this Ragnarok. You can see the Ragnarok is still extremely healthy, but hopefully with enough of the soldiers and the crossbows shooting into it, they can withstand the fire. We probably have a pretty nasty spell coming down right now. Yeah, we have a vortex spell directly on 3 units. That is dangerous right now. That was so nice by the Orc player right there to just pop that down and rip apart all of these guys. Yeah, they had just completely annihilated them. Holy crap, that was an amazing spell right there. Completely disrupting the entire Empire forces. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if these Empire forces would be sent back in retreat very, very soon. The siege towers are being pushed up. Luckily, the Black Orcs are taking a bit of damage from all the catapults, but this wall's going to be going down pretty soon, and once that goes down, that's going to be so dangerous. We're going to go back to this far left-hand side where we see the Savage Orcs just pouring in, the Giants and the supporting Trolls. Yeah, there's just nothing left of the Empire at all, and that's not good. These Orcs are going to have free reign of the city itself, and they're going to be pushing directly to this market. And I believe the Empire forces have decided, yeah, abandon this capture point, everyone fall back. And that's only taken the Orcs like 5-6 minutes to do that. And the forces of the Empire are already falling back, ready to get to this choke point. We look at balance of power, we can see that the Empire have lost 2,000 soldiers, where the Orcs have only lost 1,000. So an amazing first assault right there for the Orcs. And these gunners are having to pull out their guns, which is just not good. The Spiderlings coming down. The Spiderlings are such a good unit to harass. And the Night Goblins are just pouring in from that wall we got to see earlier of them climbing over. They're just coming around the back now and surrounding these soldiers right now. That's just really nice assault plan by the attackers. We come through this little barracks area where the initial breach did occur. You can see that the Ragnarok Queen is continuing to harass the enemy forces. Do we have a defense still mounting here? Yeah, but it looks a bit the Halberdiers have managed to actually push these guys back, and another perfect vortex spell. These vortex spells have been insane. A bit of friendly fire going down, I think. A lot of friendly fire going down, but overall, this has been really, really good. Cole Franz continuing to harass the lines. This isn't Golfran, sorry. This is just a basic general. My mistake, as these guys continue to push in. Oh, another breach going down over on this right-hand side. We also have the ladders being pushed up by the Black Orcs. And that should finish off the defense, yeah. Whatever remains on this side of the wall will be finished right now. That's for sure. When the Black Orcs get up here, it's over for any defenders who still remain here. That's for sure. And then they're just going to kind of take a short little trip right here. And I think a lot of the attackers will be reaching the keep at the same time. Because these guys are going to come here, obviously, capture this, and then move on. We actually have a unit of gunners still left remaining. These guys could still actually be pretty useful. Using the mortar crew as like a meat shield. And then they're just getting their shots off on these savage orcs. Yeah, they're trying to retreat back now. But they could still be really, really useful. Yeah, the entirety of the outer wall has been lost. Only a few swordsmen still left remaining. And again, these swordsmen could be great. Just pull them off the city and hit these archers. Maybe they're biding their time a little bit, waiting for these Black Orcs to go off. That's exactly what they're doing. Really, really nice play there by Averland. And they're going to pour in and hopefully trap off these Night Goblins. The Black Orcs are going to be turning around. But if they can kind of, you know, hold them off with one unit and the other units really push on. But this is not good. This is not good at all. The forces who are attacking the outer wall right there on the left-hand side are making their way forward now. We actually have some trolls absolutely mobbing this spellcaster. This Jade Wizard is being surrounded by trolls. And he's going to be routing from the field of battle very, very quickly as they just kick him apart, playing football with him right now. Yeah, one of the capture points is going down by the marketplace. And everyone's just fallen back. Wow, that took no time at all for the Orcs just to completely overwhelm. This right-hand side fared better, but it's a much smaller wall, so you can kind of understand why it did. And I mean, they might actually push them back on this right side. There's a lot of Orcs still here. Like, there's a lot of Black Orcs, but the General is pushing them back. Weisenland's General is pushing back the Orc General, pushing off Wazok. Oh, yeah, Azag, sorry. Yeah, they're charging away Azag and his Wyvern. And if they can kill them, then they might literally win this engagement. And then they can really just, you know, reinforce the soldiers elsewhere. We have a lot of gunners set up here. I wonder if these gunners can actually shoot. Oh, nice. We have the mortars right now helping the soldiers out down there. That is great. Yeah, the mortars are going to be finding perfect hits onto these Orc boys right here. That's awesome. Yeah, look at the helping of the artillery up there. That's awesome. I love to see that when we just have like artillery positions. However, this artillery position is going to be gone so soon. Yeah, with a smashed down wall, which was great to see the Orc players using that. A lot of the soldiers are just getting fleed from battle. How much damage have they done to that Arachnot Queen? They've done no damage to that Arachnot Queen yet. Hardly any. And that's exactly what these gunners need to be doing. They need to be focusing down their shots and just trying to kill as many of these spiders as possible. We do still have some halberds holding firm against the Night Goblin line. Our lag seems to have kind of smoothed out a little bit, which is great to see. Because looking at my CPU is still at 80%, so it's just I think the game really struggling with like 9,000-10,000 soldiers. The halberds are going to be doing okay against these guys, definitely getting a nice amount of damage. And if these gunners need to really start shooting. I'm not sure why they're not. I think they've just been ordered again. Yeah, these gunners have just been ordered to start shooting, and that's exactly what we need. But the fanatics, oh no, the fanatics, oh they just time out. Oh, they managed to get one fanatic off, but only just. If they got like a couple inches left on their shots, that would have been amazing. Yeah, these gunners are going to be able to start really racking up the damage onto this Arachnarok, and that's really what they need to have happen. If we zoom out of the city right now, because the main engagement is just kind of here, we can really see that the Orcs are just pouring through, burning the city as they go. It'd be so cool if there was like a mechanic of them just going into houses, just looting, and you just see peasants being slaughtered. That'd give a really nice feel to just how brutal these Orcs are as they form up and get ready to push through this gate and join up with the rest of their forces. How are the Orcs doing on this side? Not great, you know. Their general is, you know, Azag is down to like half health. So is the Empire General, though, as well. I imagine he's going to be getting shot down. Yeah, the Orc player did a smart thing by just keeping his soldiers by him and using his archers and his spellcasters to help him out. And now he's going to have to retreat back. Luckily, if Azag follows him, he has an entire line of gunners. Is Azag going to follow him? No, he's going to fall back. That's very smart because these gunners could have lit him up. I think the mortar is actually harassing him right now. But yeah, the Empire General is going to fall back. A lot of the forces have just pushed back to the inner keep because they just can't hold the amount of positions out here. We currently have a siege tank right now. I think he's zoning in on the Arachnarok Queen. And I mean, we still have 18 minutes left of this replay, so it's going to be a grind from here on out. Luckily, the lag seems to have completely cleaned up. Maybe we'll get a bit of a spike here and there. But as the units kind of get killed, you know, because Warhammer was only really being meant to play around about 4,000 troops on screen. You know, we at the start of this battle, we played with almost, you know, 2.5 times that. So definitely a bigger version of the battle as these halberds come charging in. Obviously, I think pretty sure the halberds have charge defense right now, so it's much better to keep these guys off. Yeah, they have charge defense against large, so it's much better to probably keep these guys stationary. However, they did a really nice job on that charge, hitting away all these trolls. And if they can kill these guys before they come back, then that's going to be awesome. The Arachnarok Queen almost going down. Like, granted, there is a lot of enemy forces still left remaining. Oh my god, my voice just went then. But even though there are a lot of enemy forces still left remaining. Okay guys, so unfortunately when I muted my mic to cough then, I forgot to unmute it. So for the rest of this battle, I was just talking to my muted mic until about 4 minutes, then there was about 4 minutes left of the battle itself. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and rewatch the footage and kind of just cast over it until we get to the point where I do start speaking. So at this point, I believe the Orcs were pushing up this hill pretty heavily. The Empire had a really good position though. So even though the balance of power is pretty in the favor of the Orcs right now, I think the Empire still have a perfect chance to win this battle as long as they do hold firm. We get a beautiful explosion right there, right on top of the silver bullets again, which is really important for the Orcs. If they want to win this, they need to minimize the amount of strength the Empires have in their guns, because if they can take them away, then the Empire don't really have a lot on the kind of the large numbers of the Orcs can just push through their ranks and just overwhelm their positions, surround them and kill them. As well as that, if you guys can see down the battle line, the Orcs still have, what, 2 giants left along with the Arachnarok Queen and a lot more large units. I think they have 3 or 4 trolls left as well. So because of that, it's so important that the Empire keep hold of their guns right there. They do still have a unit of demigryphs as well, but both their generals are really, really low. I think all 3 of their generals are actually really, really low HP, so they need to kind of keep them alive because the Orcs could easily win through mass routing the Empire, that is for sure. A steam tank just about making it out on low HP, which is again so important because that's a cannon shot right there. Every like 10 seconds that steam tank is going to shoot out a cannonball, and that's going to rack up some damage on these larger units. So it'll be a smart move. Here we go, another one shot going off right there. And if that thing stays alive because it's on a minuscule bit of health, that's going to just kill so many units. So it's a really smart move for the Orcs just to charge forward and try and take it out, which is exactly what this Orc Big Boss is doing. And this is actually one of the generals, I believe, for the Orc players. So even though this is a smart move to try and kill that siege tank, that's so risky. Like, with not having a lot of support here, the Empire forces can surround it with their generals. They can use the battle prayers from Volksmar, and they can also use these demigryphs as well. Surround these large units and just, you know, kill them and kill one of the generals as well, which is so important. We do get a pretty big spell coming off there, chasing off the rest of the gunners as they try and retreat from the battlefield. But even still, these giants and this Orc general is just are completely surrounded right now, and there's no support as the greatswords are actually managing to hold off a large portion of the enemy advance right now. That's exactly what they're doing. You can see all these giants are about to rout, and we have the demigryphs coming flying in right now. The Orc Big Boss general just went down, which is going to hurt the morale. So that's something I see players do so often. Like, obviously it was important to get these trolls forward because they needed to kill the gunners, they needed to kill these the siege tank and the other units, but by pushing forward all by themselves, they're just achieving dying pretty much and not managing to push forward. Now, it could have been a good idea to maybe surround the great swords themselves, who are holding up everyone else, and then kind of, you know, taking a bit of damage, but then allowing to move your entire force up here, pushing the Empire army back. So, I don't know, it's something I see. It's kind of like a risk and reward. You either push your units forward to minimize the damage on your units there straight away, as we have a huge foot of Gork going down, just crushing the siege tank. The gunners are still stepping up, getting ready to kill this giant. As it does get closer, they get a volley off, but it doesn't quite kill it. And then a cannonball directly hits it and finishes it off just before it comes flying into them guns. That was so close. You can see the great cannons back then. Like, they managed to get a volley off on the giant, and the giant just carried on moving, which was just so awesome to see as they got closer and closer. And now these gunners are being focused down by a lot of the missiles from the Night Goblins, which is super smart. They need to try and get rid of these gunners because they have a lot of, as I said, giants left. Well, actually, I think all their giants are dead, but they still have an Arachnarok left, and they have a lot of trolls left as well. So getting rid of these gunners using their missiles is just so smart. And I'm not sure, like, this battle is still so close. Obviously, I know what happened because I'm Jackie Fish from the future, so I already know what happened. But when we get into the last 5 minutes, I don't, because that's when I realized my mic was muted and I turn it back on, and you guys actually get to hear my actual reactions. And I'll let you guys know when that's about to happen. You can probably tell from the audio change, because one's with the game sound and obviously one's being put over the game sounds. So hopefully it's okay. But yeah, you can see the Orc forces are really pushing up right here. They've still got 2 giants left, so they do still have a large force of large units. You see they have trolls there. I think Volksmar is really deep in there. The enemy generals, or the Empire generals, are running away. Another giant goes down, but there's just still an entire another one left remaining, killing these great swords. And these great swords are going to be doing nothing against the giant itself. Luckily, it does go down thanks to the cannon fire and the gunners who are supporting these great swords. Volksmar just goes flying down that cliff right there. That is awesome to see. And yeah, the Orc forces just need to keep on pushing. There's still so many of them left. I'm sure I'll press K in a second and we can see the balance of power once again. But yeah, the enemy are continuing just to push down. And the Empire units are almost rallying down this hill, kind of sending back the Black Orcs. Luckily, the Black Orcs are going to be able to hold this charge pretty effectively and continue to push the enemy back. You can see the balance of power is still shifting pretty heavily into the favor of the Orc player. You can see, yeah, it is decently in the Orc player, and I think that's just because the Empire soldiers are just running out of men right now. They obviously hold the terrain advantage, but I just don't know if they have enough men. Well, I do know if they have enough men because I've seen the end of this battle. But trust me, it's such a close battle towards the end. I definitely recommend sticking around. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the replay already, but I love how, you know, the lag is just cleaned up completely and how awesome this is, as we have a foot of Gork going down on the gunners right now, taking out a big portion of them. Like, when these battles are lag free, it's just so much fun to play on these huge battles. But obviously you have to expect that there's going to be lag. The game was never meant to be played with 10,000 soldiers and a huge city with all these assets. It just wasn't meant to, which is a shame because it just, you know, kind of does kill the feel of the battle. You know, the first 10 minutes of the battle being super laggy like that just wasn't obviously fun to really watch. You kind of almost have to bear through it to get this awesome engagement towards the end as the units do start to die. So as you can see, the Empire soldiers are running out of men right now. They only have, you know, a unit of demigriffs down there. The enemy general is getting surrounded right now, so if they can kill the Orc general, this is good. But it's only going to be a matter of time until they get pushed back completely. This greatsword unit isn't going to be able to hold for much longer. You can see they're trying to chase down Azag. Oh, that could just be an Orc war boss on a wyvern. I'm not too sure. Yeah, both Orc generals are in there, and they're both pretty low. But yeah, as you can see, the greatsword unit's really close to routing, and the Orcs still have a lot of soldiers. You can see the balance of power shifting even more in the favor of the Orcs right now. So the Empire are just having to fall back. They really don't have a lot left, but they do have a really strong position. With 2 units of great swords, 2 units of guns, kind of half health guns, 2 units of spears, and their general. So, and they have a choke point as well. So if they can just fall back with this unit of demigriffs, they're going to be charging back in, but they should really retreat this unit backwards and get it on top of the hill and just use that to kind of, you know, push in as the enemy go forward. But I mean, there's just so many soldiers left. There really is just a ton of enemy soldiers. And that's exactly what these guys are going to be doing now. Falling back, getting up into the keep. They're going to be taking a bit of missile fire as a few of the demigriffs do go down because of the missile fire. But yeah, these guys are going to be retreating back, getting inside the city itself. And also, as well as this, the cannons should be making their way back right now as well, because these cannons still have a quarter or maybe even a third of their shots left. So every single one of these cannon shots would be vital to them winning the day. And they need to fall back as well, because it's going to be a little while until all these Orc forces can push on. A lot of the Orc forces as well are extremely depleted, so a morale victory here could definitely be the case. We get to see an entire unit of Tusk Boys moving forward, which is a regiment of renown of Boar Biggins, which is going to just kind of come in so important in this battle. But if the guns can kind of get enough damage done on the enemy, as this Great Cannon is just about to get charged, and then these Night Goblins stop charging. I don't really know why they stopped, because that's going to allow the Great Cannons to actually fall back and get out of this battle. And they're going to still be able to get, like, they have a lot of ammunition left. And they can kill a lot of the flying in. Oh no, this was what it was. The generals moved in. Azag comes flying in to try and kill the general of the Empire for Stirland, but he does manage to get out. So that general almost sacrificed his life to save this cannon, but he does get out unscathed. He is extremely low, but he does get out, which is just so important. That's going to allow a lot of these Empire units just to get, you know, that extra couple shots off and disrupt the enemy formation. So the gunners are going to be ready no matter what comes through that gate. These guys are going to have to hold firm. And they're going to go for like a square formation almost as the first units of Orc Biggins come flying through the gate. And this battle is just so goddamn close. It really, really is. They continue to hit away at the Boar Boys and the Spearmen, and I imagine the rest of the forces are going to be pouring in. You can see, look at the balance of power right now. It is so against the Empire players, but all they have to do is kill the last 2 enemy generals, and they can definitely cause a mass rout. But I don't think the players are going to be stupid, because if any of the Empire generals go after Azag right now, they're just going to get shot to pieces. There's quite a few Night Goblins back there who are just ready. They're just waiting for the Empire generals to come after Azag, and Azag can probably duel them as well. Their generals are so low, they really don't have much HP left, like just slivers. So this battle is still so close. Yeah, there's only 2 generals left right now. So the Orc Boys, all they need to do is just keep Azag alive and just try their best to whittle away, because they're only fighting Spearmen right now. I believe the Fire Priest up there, or the Fire Sorcerer, is going to be casting some spells. Maybe if he gets a good Vortex spell off here, that would be great. Yeah, I believe he does pop a Vortex spell, and that's going to be hitting a large portion of these forces. There we go, a Vortex spell going off right now. But it does end up just going through the gate itself and just going off, not really doing too much. And they really needed that to stick around, because you can see them Boar Boys right now, the Regiment of Renown, are at the front ranks just causing up so much mayhem. We also have the enemy general as well moving his way up. So if the enemy general can get surrounded and killed, that's going to be huge for the Empire. But it's so risky, because I believe the Broken Tusk Boys have anti-large, armor piercing, and they're just so strong. So if any of these generals go into them Tusk Boys, they're just going to die almost immediately. So it's so risky for them to do that. But that could be their only hope, is by killing that general unit. So it's going to be so risky to see what they do, because I'm not sure if these Spearmen can hold the line. You can see their lines are starting to thin out, only being around about 3 ranks deep right now. And a huge spell going off again from the Orc players. I don't even know what this spell is called, because I don't really get to see it too often. But look at that. It is just shredding through the lines, hitting these gunners, and then going to go onto these great swords. I believe it doesn't do that much damage onto these great swords, even though it hits a lot of them. But yeah, it barely did anything to the great swords. But you know, any damage at this point is still really, really important. And the trolls making their way up now as well. These Empire swords are going to have to go in. The great swords are going to have to commit fully now to try and push these guys back, because it's not looking too good for them. Is Azag going to come charging in? This could be very dangerous. This kind of game of chicken is going to be really important, because whoever's general dies here is probably going to decide the outcome of the battle itself. The trolls being in the front line is huge. Again, having this really good unit in the front at this point in the game when no one really has many men is so important. The gunners are getting their shots off though, and again, this is going to be racking up so much damage. If they can just whittle down the Tusk Boys before they break forward, that's going to be so important. But if the Tusk Boys break through, which is exactly what they do, and they're going to hit these gunners really, really nicely. Luckily, the Demigryphs managed to kind of plug the gap, and only a few of these Tusk Boys managed to make it through. And I think Azag is about to pounce, trying to go ahead and charge onto the back of these gunners. Yeah, he's going to go after his Empire General right now. He sees him going in, and yeah, he's going to go ahead and jump down on to try and just kill the Empire General, and then that's going to go ahead and prompt the other Empire General of Stirland to come flying down. You can see Weisenland General's running away, and then the Empire General is going to come down and actually manage to slay Azag with the support of the gunners and the fire mage as well. And that's actually going to rout so many of the enemy units. Losing that general at that point was so risky. He kind of went in for an all or nothing move there, and you can see the balance of power immediately shifting back, kind of almost in the favor of the Empire forces. Now it's extremely risky if they continue to charge down this gap, because they don't have like any soldiers left at all. They're about to kill the other enemy general as well, which is going to be so huge. If these demigryphs can slay him, that is going to be so important. So again, this battle could literally go either way. And as I mentioned, you can see how close it is as that dragon just comes flying in, sending so many of these orc boys running for their lives. And the enemy general is still just alive right now. And the Empire General is actually going to go down now, maybe. Yeah, he's actually going to rout from the field, which is not good. So even though the Empire managed to push back, look at all of these units, they're still in a really precarious spot. So what do they do? Do they charge down here? Or do they go ahead and just kind of hold and wait for all these units to come back? I feel like they have to commit one way or another, either just fully charge down and try and kill as many as possible, or just completely retreat. Because obviously the enemy general might still come back from routing, and all these units will probably come back from routing as well. So it's really risky. What do the Empire do now? Do they charge down and try and just kind of like snowball this charge, or do they just hold back? They still have a unit of greatswords left remaining. And if the enemy want to charge in against them, I guess they still have cannons, they still have their guns. You can see the cannons actually shooting right now. But they still have a lot in reserve if they want to just kind of play the slow game and let the orcs come charging back at them. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do. And in a minute, I'm going to realize that I have my mic muted. I have my mic muted all the time. So I'll send you back to present day, or I guess past day Jackie Fish, and hopefully you enjoy his commentary. If they can just continue to kill the enemies, then I think they've really got this battle in the bag. Yeah, they're completely pushing the enemy down the hill, and that is great news for them. Yeah, I think the Orcs have lost this. I mean, the balance barrier is still extremely even. So if they lose their general, it's over for the Orcs. But if they, I mean, it's over for the Empire. If this general goes down, I think they've lost. We have to be very careful not to overcommit here, because there's still an entire unit of trolls right here. So even though it looks good for them, they need to be very, very careful in this engagement. As the trolls come flying back in, perfect hits coming off onto the demigryphs. But demigryphs are one of the best units to actually deal with this unit, as the trolls continues to vomit on everyone. Trolls pushing on. God, this battle is so close. I'm just going to press K now and watch this battle from above, because, oh yeah, look, the balance power is shifting back into the favor of the Orcs. Do the Orcs have this battle? Yeah, a lot of the Empire soldiers are routing. Were they too over-eager there, pushing out? Yeah, the Bright Wizard is going very, very soon. If this Orc General goes down, everything's going to rout. But if they just stand firm... Oh my god, this General needs to come down, I think, and just try and kill the enemy General. I don't think he's going to have to worry about too much missile fire, because he's going to get into battle very, very quickly. But greatswords falling back. Is this battle being turned on its head right now? I think it is. These greatswords look like they're about to rout. Oh my god, the Orcs are going to clutch victory from the jaws of defeat. They got pushed back off the keep, and now the Orcs are rallying back and looking for blood. We have some more boar boys coming in. These boar boys are going to manage to kill this Bright Wizard, and I think these greatswords might literally just rout if they're not careful. There are still some gunners left. But as soon as that Bright Wizard goes down, is everything just going to rout? I think they might. I think they literally might just rout. There's only 25 seconds left in the replay, so do the Empire just lose here? I think they might literally just lose. I think everything might just go from the field, because there's only 17 seconds left, so I think the Orcs might win. You have a Bright Wizard going down, and everything's just going to rout, and oh my god, there we have it, the Orcs are going to win! I did not expect that. I 100% thought the Empire had that in the bag. Wow, GG, that battle was so good. I think that's probably one of the best battles on my channel. That was so good. Holy crap, I enjoyed that a ton. So let's look at the kills. We can see that Geniku's general racking up 340 kills is awesome. His mortar as well really coming in big, and along with his greatswords as well. We continue to go down, look at Stirland's forces. You can see his spearman doing okay, and his mortars doing pretty decent as well, but just wasn't able to really get into the game. I think he was helping defend the far left wall, and he just got overwhelmed by so many units. We look at the Empire with Volksmar getting 357 kills, and his Bright Wizard getting 110. Very, very nice. And finally, we look at Averland. We can see that the greatswords and the halberds doing great. Again, I've never really seen a Hellblaster Polygon do well at all in this game. We have Giants racking up some kills, and this Troll unit getting 99 kills as well. We go down, we can see that the Black Orcs getting 220 kills, very, very nice. The Ragnarok getting 189, and Skarsnik getting 120, beautiful. And then finally the Orc Biggins racking up 111 kills, and the Ragnarok 120, very, very nice. So massive thank you to everyone who took part in this battle over on my Discord. It turned out so well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did and you want to see more battles like this, please make sure to drop a like and a comment down below, as it really helps out the channel and it lets me know that you guys want to see more battles like this. And I'll see you guys next time, and the Bastion of the South has fallen.